Hi viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If today is the first time of coming across my YouTube channel, do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell to be notified when I drop a video for you. Today's video will be based on how to treat a goat that has a diarrhea. Diarrhea is one of the dangerous diseases in goats, and most of the time it occurs in baby goats during the time of patricia after giving birth to goats. Most of the time you notice that most of the babies that they give birth to do have diarrhea. So let's just put it that it's common in the baby goat, but it can be transferred to the adult goat as well. Like this particular video showing right here, the farm belongs to one of my subscribers. So we discovered that this particular goat has a diarrhea. So before we could treat the goat eventually died. So I'm using this medium to educate you guys, to teach you guys more on how you can prevent your goat from not having this particular disease. Like I said, the disease is common in goats and it's common in livestock generally, but in goats you will find that disease, so it's not something new. But how you will prevent them for not on having this particular disease, or for not being affected with this particular disease, is the most important thing. So how you can treat them, there's this particular drug called Sofano. Some people do call it Sofamidine. You understand? Like this particular picture showing right here, Sofano is a popular drugs that you can inject your goat. But make sure that if you want to inject any goat, know the total life weight of the goat before you could inject that particular goat with the Sofano. You understand? If your goat is weighing up to 10 kg, you can inject it on. You can give the goat 2 ml of the Sofano. But if your goat is not up to that, then it's 1.5 ml of the Sofano. That is what you can inject your goat. And probably if you don't know how to inject, you can call the vet doctor to do that for you. So what are the signs before you could notice that your goat has a diarrhea? One of the signs, one of the symptoms or signs that you discover that your goat has diarrhea, you will notice that their poo will be watery, very very watery, and their buttocks will look, will look irritated. Irritating. Like checking from their buttocks, it will look very very, somehow, and their poo will look very very watery. You understand? Like this particular video showing right here, you can see the buttocks of the goat. It look very very watery, and the poo, and sometimes blood can be coming out from their buttocks. So those are the things that you discover that your goat has a diarrhea. And before you know, the goat to start getting lean, because if any goat has diarrhea, you discover that the goat will lose appetite. And when a goat is not eating, what's going to happen to the goat? The goat to start reducing weight. So those are the signs that you notice that your goat has a diarrhea, and the disease can be spread easily. So if you notice that one of your goats has a diarrhea, make sure you isolate that goat immediately from the rest of the place. You keep all this whole goat, so at least the disease will not be transferred to the rest of the goat, which is very very important. So that was the reason why management comes in this particular area. Your management practices at your farm must be very very okay, so that the workers at your farm will notice and will be doing a proper checkup on the goat. Notice if the goat has any disease, or if the goat is showing any signs of disease, so they can treat the goat ahead. And the common drugs you can treat your goat, probably if you buy a new goat at your farm, make sure you treat your goat antibiotics like LA injection. LA is a long antibiotics drugs that you can inject your goat. The work the particular drugs does, it prevents them from cold. Although we are in the dry season and this is the right time for you to buy goat, or this is the right time for you to set up your goat. But peradventure, if you buy a goat to your farm, make sure you treat the goat, you isolate the goat for 21 days before joining them with the rest of the goats at the farm, which is very very important. Like I said, when you buy goat to your farm, the first injection that must be given to your goat must be what? LA injection. Then another thing is PPR injection, very very important. You understand? So and make sure you have these drugs at the farm always to treat your goat, and also make sure you get the Sofano drugs at the farm as well, in case if you notice that your goat has diseases, or if your goat is pooing or anything and has fragile at the farm as well. It's used to prevent running stomach and every other stuff in goat. So those are the common drugs you can buy or have at your farm if you want to prevent your goat from being affected with any disease, or if you notice that there is any sign. Those are the common drugs that can be administered to your goat at the time. Okay, and so that is just basically all about this video, how to prevent your this and what causes this particular diseases. It could be caused on through the food they eat. Understand, most of the food the goats do eat, you can get, they can be affected from the feed they eat, from the water they drink. So make sure if you are giving your goats water, make sure the water is very, very clean. And for example, if you give your goat water today, tomorrow make sure you throw away that water and give them the fresh water. It's very, very important. From the water they drink, they can get the diseases from the water they drink, even from stress. If the goat is too stressful, probably if the goat is passing through a lot of stress, it can have that particular disease called the diarrhea. So those are just the common causes of the diarrhea. So make sure you put that into consideration and make sure you set your farm very well. Build a very house for your goat. Make sure your house is always clean. Make sure you give them a clean water, a very good healthy food, and check them properly at all time. You understand? Those are just the prevention, and those are what you can do to make sure that your farm is upgoing and going very well. And please, if you want to go into goat farming, if you want to learn what you can put into consideration, please reach out to me and I'll help you out with that. Okay, and bye for now.